Take a Ride podcast. I'm your host here, Starks. You can find me on my Twitter handle. It's at Starks_industry. You can also find me on Instagram, One Closing Hero. I'm not here alone this evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you may be in the fantasy world. I have the wingman running the three, LT the Sage. How you doing today, brother?
Yo, I'm doing good, brother. Ready to get looking at some of these games, see what's cooking tonight.
Yeah, so this episode in particular, it'll be me and my rival LT going over the recent games. And I know I said the last episode would be a little bit shorter. It didn't happen that way when we were running the three-man offense. But this should be shorter because we'll just condense it to basically the recent games. Now, if we get listener questions on board, we'll definitely accept it. So with that being said, I'm ready to take people on for a ride. And LT, go ahead and run that ball.
All right. So we a couple games looks like have finished already tonight. So we're going to go ahead and touch up on that Philadelphia-Orlando game first. Philadelphia came in and actually lost to Orlando tonight. Yeah. And I wanted to talk about this game real quick because we had Aaron Gordon, my guy, Gordo himself. Finally, Gordo, 4 arms, but hey, he only made 4 shots. But guess what? He had 7 for 9 from the charity, 3 snipes as well, 13 rebounds, 7 assists. 1 steal, 1 block, those stock stats, you love to see it. And then 18 points. So he actually had the most in points formats tonight with all those stock stats. And it came with Jonathan Isaac shooting 5 for 9, 5 rebounds, and only 1 block. So he had kind of a pedestrian day. But that's what that's what I was worried about. Who, can those two produce at a top 75 level, together on the same court? I don't know if they can do it. Starks, what do you think?
It's going to be an interesting task. I'll say this about Jonathan Isaac. Although I was backing up, and we're recording while games are going on, looks like Clint Capella is headed to the locker room today. So hopefully he's okay. I think it's because of his head. And again, I am limited on stuff that I can utilize for this time being, for probably like the next week or two. So listeners, do bear with me, but that I can still shoot and give you guys some good information and content behind it. But let me go ISO on this as well real quick about Jonathan Isaac. Now, although I was backing him up this year, I was with the situation as far as him being a breakout player. I don't see him being a top 20 player better this year. He's honestly a player that I think is more realistically in a top 30, 35-ish. And I think that's still a little rich in that perspective. I still consider him, in my eyesight, a top 50 player. Obviously, he was like a top 15 player here recently. Other than this game, it's probably going to drop him a little bit more in the rankings. But if you're able to sell him like hotcakes, but not in a Dynasty league, I'll be honest with you. In a Dynasty league, I'm not going to trade him. But in a redraft league, I might consider doing that. There's going to be some nights that he's not going to do as well as that, because what's really getting up his value this year is blocks. And I think he was averaging about 3 this season in particular. I'm having some technical difficulties. You still hear me?
Yeah, I still hear you. Coming in a little, just a little choppy, but yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. So with that said, in particular about Jonathan Isaac, the thing that's really stroking his value is those blocks. So you have to expect those to come down here. So with that said, let me kind of look at some of this game. And what I'll say is, the minutes in particular is Josh Richardson still doing okay. In a deep format, again, I'll just touch up on Matisse Thybulle, and, as LT would say, Thybulle. I got a listener question today, and it's like, Furkan Korkmaz hooked on phonics. It's like, well, should I be more concerned of just really cutting bait with Matisse Thybulle? Well, I will always say in the Dynasty League, no, but in the redraft league, it's understandable in a more shallow league. So if you're in a 10 to 12-man league, I can understand. But if you're high in the rankings, I wouldn't be in a rush to cut bait with him, because he's a player with the upside with the steals and blocks that he can provide. Now, there was a mention that, Korkmaz is, like LT had said, he hit that game winner a few games ago, and maybe that's what's helped him to get the minutes or start in particular. But still to get 27 plus minutes a game as a starter is nothing to take lightly. And he didn't give you the best game, but he's going to fall into some lucky stats from time to time. And he took 11 shots. So I'll pass you the ball. It looks like Tobias Harris had another dud of a game. But I'll pass you the ball, LT, if there's anything else you want to talk about with Philly, brother.
Oh, definitely. So just to give you a little sage eye insight on Furkan Korkmaz, he is a team favorite amongst his team. So it's more, you got to think about this, right? In a redraft category league, if 10 not 10 man, you probably don't need Korkmaz if you're in 10 man, but 12 man 14 minutes speak. So his minutes, he's doubling Bully's minutes right now. If you have Bully in a redraft category points league, I unfortunately I would say you may want to cut ties with Bully, because not only do you want to cut ties with him, but he's probably just going to stay on that wire. So if he catches fire or if he gets hot again or an injury happens, you could probably pick him back up. No one's going to be running out to get him. So that's only in redraft leagues. In dynasty leagues, like Stark stated, you might want to hold on to him because he might have lasting value moving forward. But yeah, Korkmaz is a team guy, so he's getting the minutes right now to keep that chemistry going because Philly is winning. I hate to say it, Starks, but our guy Al Horford shot 18 shots tonight.
That is unheard of.
There's no reason for him to be shooting 18 times. I just don't. It's funny now that I'm watching games I'm kind of paying attention to the small things every night. Some of these things are just outlandish. Now Tobias didn't have a good shooting game. He wasn't efficient, but 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. So he did have a good category line. It gave you 3 turnovers, only 8 points, but you'll love to see those rebounds, assists, and steals and blocks. You'll take that any day of the week. And I kind of got raw NATO, Sharknado. Sharknado. I got destroyed. I picked them up in a couple leagues thinking Ben Simmons was going to be out longer, but no. 9 for 12. Ben Simmons is efficient. Looks like that injury isn't a big deal at all, as he's continuing to be doing pretty good and shooting efficiently ever since coming back. But other than that, I didn't really have anything else on the Magic side. Was there anything on the Magic side you wanted to touch up on, Starks, or are you good?
Or on the Philly side? No, nothing really else to say, but I guess I'll say this. Yeah, you're right. I didn't see those other stats Harris had. So the 6 assists and 10 rebounds is definitely handy. So we can go ahead and go to the Orlando side, brother.
Okay, yeah. Orlando side, if you want to switch over here. We talked a little bit about Aaron Gordon. That's the main guy I was looking for. That's who my eyes are on.
Oh, my bad. We already talked about Orlando. My bad.
You're good. But I didn't see anything else really as far as deep. Aminu, he's 1 minute and 32 seconds. Wow, that just explains where he's gone in his career. But other than that, brother, I'll go ahead and move on to the next game.
Hey man, remember Otto Porter? Remember that? Mino's better than Otto Porter. Remember that?
I do. So, listeners, me and Starks had this argument that Al-Farouq Aminu was better than Otto Porter, and at the time, it was more of an argument, right? At the time, there was more of an argument for it, and Aminu started off hot. I don't know if you remember that, Starks, but Aminu started off super hot, and it was looking good for me, and then of course he fizzled out.
You know what? But you know what's even funnier about that? Like I won't forget that because it was like years ago. You kept saying, he was like, "Hey Starks, man, look at his shot. It's so pure." When you kept saying pure, man, I was like, "Shut up!" His shot was not even close to being pure. But yeah, let's get to the next game, man.
Oh man, listeners, I'm not that big of a homer, but I was that year. I thought Aminu was back. I thought he was here. But nah,
He was never back.
I'm gonna move on to the Memphis Charlotte game, and we have Memphis squeaking out the win, 119-117 against Charlotte. And some of the young guys actually took over for tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little ISO rant here on Triple J. 29 minutes tonight. I love to see it. 5 for 9. I want to see more shots from him, but I'll take the efficiency. 4 snipes. This is what I wanted to touch on tonight. I know I sound like a broken record, but seeing him hit these snipes coming back from his injury is music to my ears. I'm glad to see he's taking those snipes and making them. That's just going to increase his value once he starts adding those little extra, the extra stats, right? He got 6 rebounds, only 1 assist. I'll take that. That's okay. He got you 1 steal and 1 block tonight on 16 points. So I love how he's ramping up. Hopefully, if this is just his, his value for a little while until he ramps up and gets back into it, I'll take that for sure. And then I will pass you to Rock Starks on Dylan Brooks or anybody else on Memphis you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so Dylan Brooks in particular, if you can slide over there, thank you. So on his point side, so Dylan Brooks had a little bit of a better game. And the thing is, I know I kind of give him a hard time. I think he's still a decent player, but one player that I want to talk about is Jonas Valanciunas. I've been giving him a hard time as well. The thing is because of his minute situation, 23 minutes, but look at his stats that he provided. He was 9 for 14, 13 rebounds, and 18 points with a couple assists. So, that's something good to see with him in particular. But the issue is, why aren't they giving him minutes? So that's one thing that's concerned. Brandon Clark in the Dynasty format, I know some people are starting to get a little irritated with him in particular, but he's going to be a good player, you guys. So just be patient with him. I know he was the echo and hype train behind it, coming into the season as a rookie. And honestly, I'm still a little disturbed that OKC decided to pass on him. They could have got him, but they decided to trade. But hey, that is what it is. But as far as Ja Morant, I think from my understanding, you correct me if I'm wrong there, LT, I think he might have hit the game winner in this game.
Mm-hmm. He sure did. I remember seeing that clip come through, yeah.
Yep, so 23 points and 11 assists. This is a good game, and I think me and LT can agree in this aspect. This guy's going to be a good player, so I'll pass you back the ball.
Yeah, definitely. Ja Morant's going to start me. Yeah, we definitely agree, and that's rare. Ja Morant does have the ability to be a top flight point guard, top 10, top 15, fantasy-wise and probably in real life as he continues to grow and get older. So just keep an eye out for him. If you were able to invest in him in dynasty formats, good job. Good job. I'm going to switch over to Charlotte now. And Charlotte, man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Lewis would have a field day. I wish he was on the podcast. He would have a field day with this game. Not only did graham crackers produce tonight, but the Monk himself, that's one of Lewis's other monikers, the Monk, Monk Jarvis. Yep. And so just the fact that Monk, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 20 points, got that almost 30 minutes on the clock there for Malik Monk, playing that 6-man role, playing it well. And then Devontae Graham, 19 shots. This is the big thing that sticks out to me about this guy. He is shooting the ball high. They are looking to him to score and produce. 4 snipes. He tried 10 snipes tonight. Wow. Made 4 of them. 4 assists. Had a high turnover clip. So in 9 categories, he hurt you a little bit there, but gave you 1 stock stat and a block and 19 points. You can't ask any more from Devontae Graham. You probably got him off the waivers or a really late round draft pick. Man, it's crazy what he's doing this year. Starks, what do you think about this Charlotte team and how they're producing?
I love this wasteland team of Charlotte, man. This was a good game, especially seeing Malik Monk and just steal the ball from me at any time because I know my service is bad where I'm at right now. But Malik Monk, 29 minutes is a good sight to see in particular. And that's nothing to take lightly. Hopefully he can string some more games, and he's going to have a lot of inconsistencies. But one thing that I want consistent is the minutes here. But as far as that goes, I'll just say this again to the listeners. I do apologize on my side here. But I want to say Terry Rozier. Can you still hear me there, LT?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So like Terry Rozier, for instance, 13 for 21. I actually seen a listener say, hey, it's time to sell high. And I kind of laughed you definitely could because he's an inefficient guy in the field goal percentage. But this is a good game for him to bounce back on with a 33 points. I think that's a career high for him with 5 assists and 6 assists and 5 rebounds. So that's good. He was very efficient. He was pumping up the volume 21 attempt shots. PJ Washington, there's better days to see. Miles Bridges is another sleeper that we've talked about. To see 7 assists from him is a nice little darling from him with the 14 points. So I definitely like Miles Bridges. And in Dynasty format, especially if you have graham crackers, this was a beautiful sight, just like what LT said in this game. Cody Martin, there was a mention about, since Batum is not coming in, it's like who's going to get some more minutes? It's a guy that you just want to keep your eye on, Cody Martin. He's not going to give you the sexy stats because you might as well forget about starving Marvin Williams and Bismack Biyombo. So we'll go ahead and transition to the next game there, brother.
Yeah, and I just wanted to preface that Bacon, our guy Baconator, was not playing in this game. So I gave a little bit more run for Malik in this one, but it doesn't even matter. Malik, it's hard because Malik, I feel like, has the potential to put up games like this on any given
Yeah.
day. So I don't want to take anything from him, but yeah, Baconator was not there. So that's probably why he did it. Anyways, let's see. Oh, we have a huge scoring one here. We're going to go into this Washington Boston game, brother. I am going to,
Lord.
Washington is just they have no defense whatsoever, but they're coming out with these high scoring matchups. And I'll switch it over to you, Starks, looking at these stats. Your boy Orochimaru had a very good game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Beal, golly. All right, I'm gonna switch it over to you. What do you got? Anything to say about about these guys?
Ooh, man, like you said, this is like I didn't even see that score. That's outrageous. So Rory Orochimaru, like you said, he had a good game, and I was a little concerned because it was like he was like really hot. He had like 16 points and like I forgot it was like 12 minutes or something. It's like what's going on? But he only got 24 minutes. That's okay. 9 for 12. He was efficient. 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And honestly, this looks like a real stat line because he fell into a lucky stat on the steal. Thomas Bryant, he wasn't efficient, but that's okay. You know, he's going to have better games. That's just what's going to happen with him. Troy Brown, I'm glad to see him start. You know, he didn't have the best of the game, but I think the upside is there with him at the 27 minutes. For those Dynasty darlings with the 5 assists, he's going to get you those out of position stats. Now, he didn't get you the steals and blocks. That's okay. But, there's better days to come. Isaiah Thomas, the pizza guy. That's right. 7 for 14, 3 snipes. I wish Jacob was on this episode just because 18.7 assists. And I'll be honest with you guys, for him to get this many minutes and start, that is a beautiful sight to see. I'll let you touch up on Beal, and what's your thoughts on the pizza guy there real quick, LT, as well?
Yeah, I was just about to steal the rock from you, Starks. I want to make sure the listeners understand that he did play 32 minutes, but this is a revenge game for Pizza Guy. So this is a revenge game. So I saw some blurbs earlier before the match that he was ready to go. He said he was going to try to score 50 on them. So he was up for this one. But the good thing about it, Starks, in your defense, I'm trying not to squeeze the orange too tight, but in your defense, pizza deliveries, if he's able to deliver the pizza for 32 minutes and be this good with 7 assists, 18 points, take the ball handling responsibilities away from Bradley Beal, so Bradley Beal can go off for 44 points, 17 of 27. Oh my God. Man. If you were able to, obviously, more than likely, no one was able to sell Beal early when he was having his struggles. But if you have Beal, you are so happy you stuck with him through the early season troubles. He is absolutely killing it now. Some of these scorings is just out of this world. 39 minutes, by the way, as well, Starks. So keep out for maybe a maintenance day for Beal. That's a lot of minutes in the NBA. I don't even know how that happens, but yeah, 39 minutes he played. But yeah, he's killing it. And so with the pizza guy, he was up for this game. He wanted to beat his previous team. He fell a little short. But yeah, and also I'm going to switch over to Boston, but CJ Miles, let's go.
Why are we talking about CJ Miles?
Hey, that's an old school 3-point specialist for you guys. CJ Miles. That's just funny. I saw him. But I'm gonna switch over to Boston because I know you listeners want us to talk about them. And Cantaloupe is who I like to call him. Got the start since the thesis was hurt tonight. Looks like one of the things I want to touch on, you think I would want to touch on these crazy stats from the first unit. No, I want to talk about the Time Lord only getting 10 minutes tonight. That was Grant Williams. Grant, I'm sorry, wrong person. Okay. Yeah, Time Lord was hurt, so he didn't play either. So that's probably why Cantor saw so many minutes tonight. So you have Jaylen Brown, 9 for 19, it's not bad, but he is really I really want to look at usage rate, and that's I forgot to touch up on that. I want to kind of go into the back end here and look at usage rate for Terry Rozier and Jaylen Brown since the change of Gordon Hayward going down, because it feels like he's shooting just as many shots as Tatum is every night now. Shot it 19 times, and Tatum only shot it, and Tatum shot at 20, and their lines look very similar. So those two guys are killing feeling it right now. You want some more efficient games, but that's okay. And then Starks, I'll go ahead and pass it over to you to talk about our guy Kemba and see what you feel about him.
Kemba had a good game, 8 for 17, took all those snipes, 12 attempts, snipes, hit 6 of them, 5 assists and 25 points. Now, Kemba is I know a lot of people are kind of concerned, like, he's going to have some drop off. Honestly, he's been a little bit better this year under the radar. He's had a quick struggle, and then he quickly turned it around. I see better days for him to come in this Boston offense. So, although, this is only going to help him a little bit more because of Gordon Hayward being out, so he's going to have to take a little bit more responsibility as well. But to kind of pivot and look at the bench side of things, a guy that I had mentioned is Carson Edwards, and I'm glad to see him get the minutes here. 20 minutes, he was 7 for 12. He hit 4 snipes, 3 assists, and 18 points. This is a guy I spoke about last episode that he could have been a potential pickup. Obviously, this was a high-scoring game, so don't expect this. But in a dynasty format, I would love to have him on my team just only makes sense, especially with Gordon Hayward being out and just the type of team that they can be. Is Kemba Walker, obviously, he's in his prime right now, but as his team continues to get younger, as the team is younger and Kemba Walker gets a little bit older, things can change in a few years in a dynasty format. So he's the long-term guy. And then Brad Wanamaker, I know I spoke to a listener here about this the last episode. He didn't have the best game, right? He only had 16 minutes. He hit all of his 6 free throw shots, 5 assists, though, and 10 points. So actually, that's a little nice handy game from Wanamaker. And that is nothing to just take lightly in a dynasty format. He's someone I also would like to have. This all obviously comes on the heels of the Time Lord being out. This also comes on the heels of somebody else being out. I can't remember who it was. Obviously, G.A.'s out. So, that's a good sight to see. But I wanted to actually transition back, and I wanted to ask you this question here, Sage. Yeah. What's your thoughts on this? Because I know we were just talking about Bradley Beal. In a redraft league right now, if you had to take either Bradley Beal or Pascal Siakam, who would you take?
Wow. That's tough. Knowing what I know now, or just knowing what I know now?
Yes.
I would take Siakam still.
Yeah, it's tough for me, man. I really don't know.
That's a tough question, though. I don't want the listeners to think that's an easy answer. That's a tough answer. The only reason why I say Siakam is I just feel like Siakam gives you a little bit more, especially in 9-cat categories. He gives you a little bit more full, like that whole box that we always talk about, that those steals and blocks and those rebounds. But they're both Siakam. You got to understand this too. Both Siakam and Beal are, products of injuries, right? No Wall in Washington, and then Lauri and a couple. OG Anunoby now is hurt. Ibaka's out, so their numbers are a little inflated, both of theirs. But at the same time, I would probably still stick with Siakam. His seems more sustainable than Beal's.
Yeah, and I'm also going to say this. Unfortunately, it looks like we're agreeing again, which is weird. I think I would take Siakam too, just because of the dynamic of the team. Because look at Washington's record right now, 2-7. If they continue to have like a bad season this year as a wasteland team potentially, I can see Bradley Beal resting, at the end, closer to the playoffs for the regular season as far as like fantasy. But obviously, if Toronto's winning, they could start load management too. But I think I could see Pascal Siakam to get a little bit more games this year. But it is definitely tough. So, yeah, if we can go ahead and transition to the next game, brother.
Definitely. So I think that is all the early games I have completed. And we have one game that's going on now with the high-flying San Antonio Spurs going at it against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And there's only 3 minutes left in this one, so we'll go ahead and check these stats real quick. Looks like the Spurs are losing. Looks like they're getting beat pretty handily. And I will go ahead and take an ISO rant here. I am a little bit worried about my guy Murray's Pomade, the new version. He's had a couple of very bad games strung in a row. And Derek White, again, I mean, he's not producing that crazy, but now look who's entering into the fray. Patty Mills. Man, I tell you what, Patty Mills is a team favorite of Popovich's. So you think about it, you know, Patty Mills can take that time and shine away from Murray. If Murray's not doing what Popovich wants, if he's, you know, making bad decisions on the court, you know, Popovich is he will pull you and he will make you watch from the sideline. So and put Patty, he will. So I'm worried about that. Hopefully it's just a couple of strings of games. Hopefully he's making some mental mistakes on the floor, but I'm just hoping that he kind of comes back, because when he was getting the minutes, when he was getting 25, 26, 27 minutes earlier in the year, he was producing, and now he's falling down. You know, less than 20 minutes a night is no bueno at all. So I'm gonna pass the rock. I wanted to before I pass the rock, this is the most DeRozan stat line I've ever seen in my life. The 12 for 18, no threes, no threes, 12 for 18, 3 for 4 from charity, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Now he usually doesn't get you all those extra stock stats, but 27 points from the DeRozan, but that is 12 for 18 with no threes is the most DeRozan thing I've ever seen. I'm gonna pass the rock to you though, Starks.
Man, you know what's funny, man? I just keep thinking when you were talking about Popovich getting on his team, every time you were just talking about that, I just kept thinking about Kawhi Leonard when he was over there and he yanked Kawhi and put him on his bench. And he was sitting there yelling at Kawhi, and Kawhi was just looking down, staring at space with his eyes wide open. And it's funny because, like, I remember the days of, like, Tim Duncan, like, it didn't matter if you was a veteran or not. Popovich would give it to you, man. Like, it didn't even matter who you are. He gave it to him. So, you know how I feel about the Spurs. But let me say this: I gotta still be a little nice. But it's not just you though, LT. I know a lot of experts as well that like Dejounte Murray, and he's a good player. And to be honest, I just always thought about the Derek White, and then honestly, Patty Mills a little bit too. So it's just like, I just didn't want to deal with that situation, but he's obviously should be the best point guard there. And Lonnie Walker is going to, I mean, he's a very deep guy. Maybe some point in time things might change for him, right? So I just want all away from that. And honestly, I'll say it like this: as soon as he has strings on a couple of good games, I would be trying to sell him like hotcakes as quickly as possible. But that's just my opinion. But he can come back and do well. So. I don't want to touch any more on the Spurs. We can jump on the Minnesota side there, brother.
All right, perfect.
That's so mean.
Nah, it's okay. Spurs are 5-5 right now, so their team, they're in the middle. I just wanted to state that depending on how well or they do going forward, you would imagine they're going to go into a youth movement. And so if they go into that youth movement, I would imagine that Dej would get more time, but that also means Derek White could also get more time. Derek White's not that old either. So I don't know. Hopefully he comes back. But I will go ahead and switch over to the Wolves. And Starks. It's for real,
man. For real. I think it's for real. It might be.
It's for real. Our YouTube listeners and everyone else, I put Wiggins on one of the covers for one of our YouTube videos recently because we were talking about him so adamantly about it. Has he turned that corner? And the answer, and I'm saying it right now, what is it, November 12th, 13th? Something like that. He has turned a corner. This is it. He was on, points and bad shot selection street. He's turned the corner over to he does it all. I can't believe I'm saying that. Starks.
Don't say that.
Wait. Starks, the game's not over yet, even though it looks like it is. 12 to 23 shots. Efficient. More than 50% from his field goal. He's taking better shots. Guess what? He hit 4 snipes tonight for you. That's right. 4. 2 for 2 from charity. Didn't hurt you there. Get a load of this. 8 rebounds. That's right. Wiggins had 8 rebounds and also 7 assists. 7 assists. Wait, it gets better. Hey, wait, there's more, like those infomercials, right? 2 steals, 2 swipes, and a block. Are you kidding me? Is this the Wiggins we used to make fun of? Every time we saw him, just those empty stats, just triple zeros everywhere. I mean, it's crazy. And man, I don't know if this is a product of just of something he did over the summer, or if he's just playing better, he's feeling more comfortable in where he's at now in his his career. But he is coming up on his prime. He's around prime time right now, right? As far as his age, so he's playing awesome. If you picked him up, this is crazy. This stat line is. That stat line is absolutely crazy, man. I can't even believe it. But your boy, I'll let you talk about your boy real quick in the middle, also putting up a pretty decent stat line.
Yeah, I have to jump on Wiggo real quick.
Oh,
Wiggins.
Man,
I don't know.
It's crazy, right?
I don't know. Oh, so I'm going to put myself in a situation. Would I sell him, at this point in time? And I don't know if I can, or I think I will, but I guess it would be who could I potentially get back in return? I'll say it like this. I would try to get a top 25 player or better. And I think that's what he's kind of doing right now, right? But the thing is it sustainable? I'll say this, I don't know, but I don't think so. But I mean, I thought this was going to end a long time ago. It almost reminds me of Triscuits or Biscuits, right? But this is like completely different because Andrew Wiggins is a young guy that they paid him the contract. And I know what probably really made him mad. I think I don't remember if he signed the contract like last year or the year before when Minnesota was like, is he worth the money? You know what I'm saying? And I was just thinking in my head, like, no, I'm not paying him that max, right? And he did get paid. And he didn't do good that year when he got paid. But this year, man, he's looking like a man amongst boys right now. So hopefully this is sustainable. Like LT said, if you were able to get him in any of your leagues, you cut coupons with him and you felt good. But kind of transitioning back to Karl Anthony Towns, he's kind of slid down a little bit. But the thing about Karl Anthony Towns is the durability that if you pay a top 3 pick on a player, I want my player, the good chances of him to be on the floor. And one thing that I like about him this year is he's pumping up the volume when it comes to the 3-point shots. He shot over 9, and this game is still going. He's made threes. Obviously, he's pumping up the volume at the free throw charity stripe, and he's doing good with 11 rebounds. And I think how many points does he have, LT, right now? He got 2 steals.
28.
And he's got 28 points right now. So this game is not over, or is it over?
It just finished. Just finished.
Okay, so then Josh Okogie's getting minutes. He didn't have a good game. That's unfortunate. Jeff Teague, he's coming from the bench. That's weird. They're still starting Travion Grant. No clue what's going on. We're recording while games are going on, and it said Capella's being examined, so they don't know any or much more about it. But Josh Okogie, and then what the White Knight was talking about, Jake Layman is getting those minutes. And Layman, he was very efficient. He was talking about picking him up, streaming. He was a streaming option on Jacob's article on newlifefantasy.com. So you guys check that out. And did we touch up on the Houston game, or did that just start?
No. The Houston game was going to be the next one.
Okay. So, yeah, we're good on this. But Robert Covington, covert ops, what we like to call him, he didn't get the minutes there. Bet he'll be fine though, but we can transition into the other game unless you got something else to say, brother.
Yeah, I was just gonna say in layman terms, but seriously, Layman is definitely keep your eye out. The White Knight would definitely touch up on him. 7 for 9, he did really great tonight. And then Jeff Teague, I'm interested because Culver's ice cream. You know how I like it. He actually had a decent game tonight, but Teague, I think he's back. I think he's not. I think he was injured originally. I think he's back, so they're probably bringing him on a little bit slow. But slowly. But man, if you're a Culver owner in a deep league, you might want to start looking at other options because Teague is coming back and will probably end up starting because that team is being competitive. The Wolves are competitive this year as far as winning. So I'll go ahead and transition over to the next game. Just finished. I actually was able to watch some of this game a little earlier, so I had my sage eye on some of the play here, and that's the LA Clippers against the Houston Rockets, and the Clippers lost. The Rockets went ahead and take this one. The Rockets go ahead and take this one 102-93. Yeah, you listeners, you know what's coming up here shortly. That's right. We're gonna get into it a little bit later, but first we're gonna touch on the Clippers. And I was watching this game, and I'm just looking. I'm like, man, the Clippers don't look like they did at the beginning of the year. They don't look like these world beaters anymore. And I don't know if it's because Kawhi is not looking as crazy. I mean, he had a great, don't get me wrong, he had a great game tonight, but inefficient, 10 for 24, took 24 shots. No one barely, the next person was Lou Williams with 22 shots, but the Clippers season doesn't start till tomorrow. And that's basically all I want to say about this and everything else. Paul George is supposed to be coming back and playing tomorrow. And that to me, that's when their season starts. We'll be able to kind of get a look at this. Patrick Patterson, even Patrick knows his time is up. Look at these stat lines. Didn't even take a shot. He's like, well, I know I'm probably going to the bench, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get ready for it. I'm not gonna take any shots tonight. Maybe he got hurt because he only played 4 minutes. Maybe he got hurt. Hopefully he's okay if he got hurt. But man, anyways, I want to see who they start. It's probably going to be Beverly, George, maybe Harkless, maybe Patterson. I don't know which one they're going to choose. So I don't know who's going to play that 3 spot. But basically, that's what we're looking at right now as far as the Clippers. So I don't really have too much to say on them. Did you have anything else, Starks?
No, just JaMychal Green and Montrezl Harrell, they got the minutes there. Mm-hmm. So, of course, Montrezl is going to get the minutes, but JaMychal Green getting those minutes with 14 rebounds is interesting. So just keep in mind to the listeners, when the Clippers play or before they play, and if you're able to pick up free agents or player ads that day of, your cheat code is just be prepared to always be looking at the updates with Clippers because they're going to be playing musical chairs on the load management between Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And then at that point in time, if you're in a shallow league, you can basically insert someone like Mo Harkless or someone like JaMychal Green that's going to give instant boost value for that day of streaming. So that's something to consider all year because we can expect some load management to come their way. And you know what's funny? Before we go into the Houston side, is their record 7-3? Did I read that right?
Mm-hmm. It is. Both teams are now 7-3.
Both teams. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just felt like Houston was losing more, but I guess I've been seeing things. But anyways, we could go ahead and transition to the Houston game, and I'll pass you the ball there, brother.
Of course you're going to pass me the rock. So let's go ahead and get this out the way. James Harden again does it again, and he has to be top 5 fantasy. He has to be in there. I gotta look. I know his efficiencies are awful, but 12 for 26, 13 threes, 50% of his shots come from 3. Oh man, perfect. But somehow he still has 17 attempts at the charity strike. This right here gives me nightmares. This right here, this 16 for 17 at the free throw line, it is unfair in category leagues when you have those free throws, you're against a Harden owner. It's almost impossible to overcome this. And unless if that owner really, messed up on his, making his team around strong in the free throw area, this is just impossible to overcome. And that's what makes Harden such an impressive fantasy asset in category leagues and redrafts because he wins you free throws single-handedly almost every single week. It's almost automatic. And then so we have 6 rebounds, 7 assists, but he loses you the 9 cats. He loses you turnovers, but 6 turnovers, 3 no swipings. Oh man, it's just crazy. The Harden 47 points. I don't know what else to say other than I'm tired of it. That's about it. And then Clint Capella, we were talking about him earlier. Very efficient game. He did go to the locker room, but it looks like he had 20 rebounds this game. Starks, absolutely crazy stat line. Looking very drumsticks-ish with 2 blocks as well. Anything else? Looking at that Russell Westbrook. Go ahead, Starks. Go ahead, Starks, if you want to touch up.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. So real quick on this, like you called it, Austin Rivers is getting the minutes there. And as your guy, their house party's out. So obviously Rivers, but you know what's interesting even to me, if you scroll back up on Ben McLemore.
Oh, exactly.
he got the start. Although it was 22 minutes, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to use him. And here's another additional cheat code. I think, and I wish I had my information on my side, but I think he has a back-to-back either I think it's Friday, Saturday. So if you can squeeze those 2 games And if House Party is not coming back, which is Danielle House, he could be someone that you can get quick boosted stats for those back-to-back games that Houston has sometime this week. So that's something to look at. But Austin Rivers could be in consideration too, just like what LT said, because he got the minutes. Now, Austin Rivers, he wasn't efficient, but he still was able to get the minutes. And that's something we look at. That's very important because he fell into a lucky stat, which was the block, right? And he hit a snipe again. And then, like you said, Russell Westbrook just had a bad game efficiency-wise. 6 for 20. And honestly, 2 assists, that's really bad for Russ.
He just had a bad game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, better days is to come, but I've said this a lot, like even last year. Russell Westbrook, you take his athleticism away from him, and unfortunately, he's just not good. And I always kind of say, I always say with him in particular, what kind of really always concerns me, actually the last couple of years, I'm sure you know LT now, is it's like, all of a sudden, like, what happened to his free throws, man? Like, he used to be a good free throw shooter, and now it's just like you're punting with him. I just don't know what happened to him. So, that's an unfortunate thing. But PJ Tucker, the projects with PJ Tucker, the 38 minutes that he had, like, he's still getting the minutes, man. So he's going to give you some empty stats from time to time, but he'll get you those grit stats, the counting stats as well. There it is, the 2 steals and 1 block. And he'll get you some snipes here and there. So I think that's it for the games there, brother.
Yeah, I wanted to touch up on Ben McLemore real quick. I watched him play tonight, and at first, he has like a similar haircut to Danwell House. And so I was like, is House out there? I was like, oh, House. Now it's like, it was like, McLemore misses again. I was like, it's McLemore. Anyways, but yeah, like I stated, Austin Rivers, he did get those minutes. And then, that's one of the weirdest regressions I've ever seen, Starks, with Russell Westbrook and his free throws. I've never seen anything just quite like it. It's very weird. He used to be 90%. He used to be up there on
he
free
in the
throws.
80s.
Yeah, high 80s.
But I mean, he like in a points league. I mean, for those listening that do points leagues, he's still fine in points leagues, but in the category leagues, it's just not the same, man.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to touch up on any of these early games real quick, just to look at them, or you want to just switch over?
But we could talk just real quick. Like, so Portland, real quick. I think one of your guys in Portland, what's his name? Started. What's his name, brother? Gosh, not Simons, but the other guy. Got the start. Yeah, Nasir Little got the start for this game in particular. Oh yeah, that's a good sight to see. But let me ask you this, LT, because I know you're the Portland guy. You think they should have started Simmons instead of Little, or what do you think? Or you think that was a good idea, or what?
Yeah, the issue with Simon Starks is that he's undersized. So if they can't play him in that that small forward, power forward area. He's too small. We could go smaller. We would have to play different defense if they wanted to do that. I'm sure there's lineups that can do that, but they can't. I'm gonna go ahead and just try not to juice the orange too much, but I'm gonna tell you guys this. We've been clamoring, all of us Portland fans have been clamoring for this since the beginning of the season. Scott, our coach, I love him dearly, but he gives these minutes to these old heads like Anthony Tolliver, and it's like what are you doing, right? If Paul Gasol wasn't hurt, I probably would see Paul Gasol out there running like 30 minutes. But Nasir Little I'm telling you right now, guys, keep an eye out for Nasir Little and keep an eye out for his production and his minutes. If he can get 25 plus minutes, you heard it here first from the Sage. If he can get 25 plus minutes, he is going to be an asset on 12-team fantasy leagues moving forward if he's able to produce 25 minute plus. That's if, because he's a
Wow.
defensive specialist. He's a 3-and-D guy, right? He's the covert ops DNA, the formula. So he's gonna get you those. He's gonna get you those steals. He's gonna try to. Hopefully, he's gonna be dabbling with some blocks, and then he's gonna get you those rebounds, and he's gonna get you those threes. So just keep an eye out for Nazir Little. Don't run to pick him up now. I have in a very deep league. I did pick him up already because we have to infuse our youth, and they're starting to do that now. So keep your eyes out for him. And then Raptors, Starks, anything on the Raptors side? I don't see anything this early in the game, really.
Real quick on Portland also real quick. Oh, man, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm actually interested in what they're doing this year to see what Nasir Little, like you're juicing the orange on him a little bit. And obviously I like Anthony Simons. He's a guy that they're already talking about him getting minutes, secretly, or not even secretly, starting to come out, and he's already getting the minutes this game. So that's a beautiful sight to see. But we can go to Toronto's side if you don't mind.
No, you're fine. Yeah, we have to play those guys in order to win games. So yeah, definitely they got to see minutes.
Yeah, but yeah, Toronto. I don't know if you can pull it up on your side. I don't see it for some reason. Maybe my phone is up. No, I don't. Oh, it's at the bottom. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Oh, yeah, there it is. All I wanted to see is my guy Bobby Boucher, Chris Boucher.
I should have known.
Yeah,
6
8
rebounds
minutes.
already.
That's our 6 rebounds in 8 minutes. Obviously, we're recording while games are going on. Norman Powell's still getting the start. I know there was a listener question that was just like, do I drop Norman Powell or to pick up Anthony Simons? And I just kind of asked, well, I don't know if it was exactly that question, but I got similar questions at that aspect. I will always ask, well, in the short term, I'm going to take Norman Powell because of Kyle Lowry being out. Long term, this season, I'll take my chances on Simons, but that's where I stand right there. But if you're trying to get them quick wins, Norman Powell's going to get those minutes, and he definitely has. And that's really all I have for the Toronto side. If you want to touch up on anything real quick there.
Nah, that game's too early to really get a good eye. I'll just shoot over to this Golden State Lakers game. Probably it's going to be a barn burner. Lakers are probably going to destroy them. So not too much to see in this game. But just wanted to make sure we reiterate. I don't know if we did mention it in the past couple episodes, but Draymond Green is playing and back from injury and is playing. So just make sure you get him back in your lineups. I know I actually kept him in a league that I have him in, and so I'm putting him out there. So hopefully he can produce. But I think that this is really going to hurt. And this is like just off the cuff ISO rant, but I think this is really going to hurt Draymond Green's outlook as a player in general, because if he has to be able to produce without those like 4 all-stars around him, giving him opportunities. He has to be able to produce on his own. And if he's not able to produce with deloading and Pascal, Burks, I mean, come on now, Burks is a perennial all-star this year, right? And the pool shark. Hopefully he can make those guys better. So that's all I got. And the Lakers are the Lakers, man. Kuzma got the start. Starks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Davis is out.
Yeah, Anthony Davis is out for this game. He'll be back. But, yeah, like you said, Kuzma got the start, and people are getting excited. Like, he's a good points player. I'm not going to – there's nothing really to say there, in particular when the game just started. But I'll just say this also. Going back from what I looked at, obviously with Draymond Green coming back, it looked like I see the guy that was exploding, Alec Burks, was coming from the bench. So he didn't start. So that's something to still pay attention to for those that – we're believing maybe he could do this the whole season. It's really going to be hard to say that it could be just because of Draymond Green and D'Lo. So we don't know how long both of those players are going to be starting the rest of the season, because it still could be the tank job. So with that said, do you want to touch up on anything else, or are you about ready for the clutch shots there, brother?
Nope, that's it. Ready for the clutch shots.
Okay. So before we get to the clutch shot, if you can go to the website, LT, I was just going to say, you guys, make sure you go to newlifefantasy.com. Join the mailing list. It's at the bottom. And then at the same time, join as a member at the top. When you join as a member, You can basically, interact with us in particular, interact with me, and we can get to your questions a lot faster on the site. It definitely helps us out to keep the website going. And then obviously our podcast, write a review on, Spotify, iTunes, Google, pretty much all podcast formats. It definitely helps us out to keep things going. We thank you, listeners, so much for the love that you've been giving us and ideas, and just thankful for you guys. Also, what was I supposed to say? Yeah, so the YouTube channel, just like what LT is running that hot offense there with the YouTube channel, even now as we're recording, make sure you guys, the Sub-Zero at the bottom, hit that sub button, and then at the same time, hit the thumbs up button, and then write a comment on there. It definitely helps us out as well. And once you get all those beautiful channels, those episodes that we have available, moving forward, I will have better equipment on my side as well. I'm just having some technical difficulties right now, but things will change. And it looks like we got a question real quick as we're recording. And LT, I'll actually hit you with this. Is it time to give up on Fultz? Should I drop him for Kendrick Williams, or should I wait a little longer? What says you, LT?
Yeah, definitely hold off if the guy you're trying to get is Kendrick Williams. Definitely hold off. Give him a little bit more time. Again, I'm not a Fultz guy, so I'm just going to reiterate that. I'm not really a Fultz guy. I don't think I know he was a first round pick. I know he has the abilities, but to me, when I look at him play, he just doesn't seem like a guy that's going to explode as a top, point guard, shooting guard in the league. You got to put him up against guys like Devin Booker, right? They're just, when you look at those two players together, they just one player obviously looks better. But I would keep Fultz because he's having the opportunities in Orlando right now, and he's starting. If I remember correctly, he is starting and getting those minutes. So Kendrick Williams is still an unknown a little bit. We don't know how many minutes he's actually going to get, and I don't think they played yesterday either, and the Pelicans. So I'm not too sure. So I would stick with Fultz. I would hold off just a little bit longer. But if you're really hurting, maybe I would still hold on to Fultz. Even if you're hurting, he's probably going to produce a little bit better than Kendrick on a per game average. What do you think, Starks?
Man, I just can't believe it. This is probably going to be like the only episode that we agree with everything and all. Like that's kind of weird. But yeah, if you have, especially what LT said, he's got the starting job at this point in time. They're being careful with him. He's not getting the 30+ minutes. But as time progresses on, he could get those minutes. So that is a beautiful sight to see. You got to be patient with him. I guess it's going to rely on what type of league you're in. Now, in the Dynasty format, you're not going to do that move. But if it's in a redraft league, and that's what it sounds like, I would take the risk on that minor upside that he has, because he could be a game changer at the end of the season. Sometimes you need those lottery tickets that could potentially give you that boom and bang for your buck, as Lewis would say. So that's something to look at. Kendrick Williams is a nice temporary solution because of the Brandon Ingram situation, which is really kind of odd, to be honest with you, LT. You would think we might have got a report today. I'm a little concerned about that. So that's something to see. And let me also say this. I guess the clutch shot that I'll take in particular is, it's me and LT. We're rivals, and we're having a matchup in the points league this week. Hopefully I can, give him his first loss this year. But I'll be honest with you, this points league is a little bit – I did well in it before. It's a little bit harder for me this year. I'm still more focused on one of the anniversary leagues that we're in. Yeah, I'm glad that you were strong enough to stomach putting that out in front of the fans.
James Harden, right? Yeah, I trust me. I saw that James Harden score, and I could tell what was happening to me in this league. I want to I'm going to go ahead and use the White Knight rule here and just say that I'm going through a couple of injuries in this a couple injuries. I got a newbie is injured, and my house party is injured too. So just wanted to put that out there. Aaron Gordon though got me 48 points. Okay, boy. But yeah.
Yeah, feel those Rozier stats. Listen, I'm going to steal the ball from you on top of that real quick, just to say this, man. This points league is a shallow league. So what that means is there's good players out there. So yeah, I'm dropping injured players to get that good production from mediocre players. That's going to give me that boom. But hey, you and the White Knight can hold on to lucky injury players. Well, I wouldn't say lucky injury players, but we do have one IL spot. but you got to eat it. I have Zion Williamson, so that's where I stand with that. Everybody's got injuries, man. You can only hold that excuse for so long, right? But anyways, let's get back to the clutch shot here at hand. Let me just go ahead and put a quick plug as well. It looks like I got my new Apple Pro earbuds, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it feels pretty good, man. I didn't know what to expect from it, but I'll say it's legitimate equipment, and it's very it feels really good. So maybe we could get that sponsor here soon. But anyways, no, this is a good. I don't even know where I'm going with this. But anyways, what's important is you guys check out that site. We're putting in the hard work. We're going to try to give you guys daily episodes, and if you want like certain or things that you want us to talk about, we're open to it. And that's really all I got. That's my clutch shot. And hopefully LT, we can see each other in the redraft league too, because that's one of the anniversary leagues. So I'll pass you the ball there with your clutch shot, man.
Man, that redraft anniversary league, I'm not doing too well at all. Anyways, I don't know what's going on in that league. But anyways, my clutch shot is actually, I'm gonna give a little praise of God. I am maybe looking into a different job here coming up soon.
Oh, praise God!
And if I am, that's going to really relieve some stress and some time away from that, so I can apply it to this New Life Fantasy. So I'm thankful for that. So hopefully that all pans out here in the next day or so. So that just means more content for you guys out there in the fantasy world. I may actually do an article. Do a blog. I might actually do an article blog with all the time I'll have. And so just look out for that. So hopefully that all pans out. But I just want to let everybody out, all the listeners, everybody know I appreciate all the love we've been getting, all the likes, all the subscribes on YouTube. It's been a great, crazy week. We just launched that I think last week, and we're already almost up to 30 subscribers. So that's awesome to see. So we'll continue to keep pushing out that content, getting everything looking nice and neat for you listeners. And I can't wait to do some more stuff for you.
Awesome. So you guys, you can find me on my Twitter handle. It's @Starks_industry. You can also find me on Instagram, One Closing Hero. Give me a follow. I'll definitely answer you guys' questions. May not be the quickest time, but it'll be at a prompt time. It's hard for me to answer the questions a lot quicker than I would like, because the type of job that I do, the reception is like, it really destroys my phone, where it's like only time I can get on my phone is like on break. So, but I just know that I will get to you guys as quickly as possible. So make sure you subscribe and all that commercial stuff that I gave you. So I will pass you the ball. LT, where can they find you out there, brother?
Yeah, so I'm going to flip-flop a little bit, listeners. I'm going to go ahead and try to Starks and the Whight Knight, or the Twitter, as I stated yesterday, just the Twitter fanatics, they got Twitter down pat. I tried to put a link in Twitter, and it didn't. It just showed the link. It didn't show a picture of our YouTube video or nothing. And I was trying to do it through my phone. Listen, okay, I'm terrible at Twitter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double down on my things about IG. I'm going to be your IG contact. I'm going to try to get more content flowing through IG for you guys. So my Instagram is _Sage Network _. Just shoot me any questions, anything through IG. I literally am on Instagram all day. So just send me anything there, and on Twitter still, as well as Sage Network X. Over to you, brother.
Yeah, and then you guys, last thing to kind of double down, look at that site, and just kind of like what LT's doing. He's behind the scenes putting the YouTube channel together while we're like talking. So this is definitely universally different. Look at us there, the three stooges, right? So you just got to think of that. Like he keeps putting me at the bottom of the screen, and I don't know, that's just what the rivalry does. He just always does things like that to make up excuses of me not being at the top. So I guess that's fine. So with that being said, you guys have a good evening, morning, afternoon, and take a ride.